ECB's Nagel says the wage uptick wasn't a surprise. ECB's Nagel says the inflation trend is downward. And Nagel says core and headline inflation are both decelerating. And the ECB can probably cut rates in June. And ECB's Nagel says we probably have to wait on the next move until September.
Morning, guys. So we held our low last night,
Taking a look at the
where
fear
we
and
took
greed
profit on
index,
our
53 out
shorts,
of 100 equaling neutral, and the crypto fear and greed index, 74 out of
gapped
100
up,
equaling greed. And the
held our
VIX currently
resistance
down 3.21% at 12.37.
at our 305, 308, where we took our short for that push down. We are building out this large node here, right?
US
You
Treasury
need
yield
to see it
turned
become
negative.
supportive
10-year yield last slightly down at 4.472%.
for a push up into our like 15. Remember, this is where we took our next short as well, here. These are our two levels that we are playing off of for the beginning of this downtrend position. So these are still just going to be my targets of where I want to see price be able to hold, push into, hold, out, right? These are kind of your main levels regardless. You can see structure-wise that we have a node above into this 15 is the low edge, like our 30 area for the short-term structure. and that we are currently battling trying to make this 305, 308 supportive for a look back up into that 15. If we can do that, right, then we can start to build for an oscillation of this node that's above us. If this fails, right, we'll be looking for a push below, retest of our lows. If we push below this buyer that was present here, that 292 level, then we can look for the gap fill back to this larger node structure. So really just seeing if we can start to build. And that's about it. Can we hold our seller who's been positioned here at this 305.38 and supportive flip over for that move up to our first target at 15? If so, then we can kind of trade in our upper rotation and come back to this selling POC from the shift down, right? Shifted between this buyer and seller above. I made some more general levels just as we started the stream, but I kind of see the market as two rotations. This being our lower range where we are trading within this, and this being our upper range where we're trading between these two main pivots, with this being kind of like our directional decision maker on our mid pivot, the gray zones. So like, you know, it looks more something like this where we have a directional decision afterwards. And same thing with this where we have a directional decision afterwards. This is the pivot in between our two rotations. Hopefully that makes sense. But that's really all we're looking for. So below 305s, most likely come down to this, to our mid pivot. So yeah. Just building out this node. Expect two-sided trading until we see a buyer kind of really show their hand and step us up over 308 for the move to 315s. A failure and weakness below 302 probably results. I don't even want to say 302. Yeah, no, I do. We just want to see this node edge become resistant, right? And then as soon as we see that offer step down into this node, very likely to come back down to retest our low. But this just looks choppy, but we are developing higher low. Did hold yesterday pivots that we're playing off. So it just isn't ready yet. But hopefully soon. 7 minutes on this next 15-minute candle. I think maybe if NQ at any point can start to build between that 810, 820 and show that as supportive, there's potential. But as of right now, kind of hard resistance. You'd want to see like the bid be able to lift. Here. These are our levels from yesterday that we played this move down on NQ. I won't even adjust these. I'm just going to shift this over so that we can see what this looked like. These rotations. So we're just here at this 20, right? If we make it supportive, then we should be able to look up to our weekly value high up at like 38. This is just that 20 area. lot overlapping here. Oh, it's because it's. Yeah, I mean, it takes a lot of effort to break out of the morning structure. These are still like, because we're just maintaining the balance from yesterday, it's a bit rough. I think NQ leads the charge here, though, if we can hold the 20 like I talked about for that move up. Have to see. Again, like this rotation is just 305, 308, and then 315 above. Especially if we can hold 20s on a break on a NQ. Yeah, I totally get. I agree. Just pushing into our 38s off the hold 20s. Not a ton here until we see this 38, 48 kind of become supportive. And then we can look up for probably 66, 70. 15's 10 seconds. See if buyers can maintain this low that we just put in, or if we need to push back down to that 308 before being able to go to 15s. Yeah, I would say unless you're on like a larger account, Kels, do not play anything other than micros. Or sorry, yeah, minis just do not give you enough room to position with the amount of drawdown and with like taking bad trades. And Varg has been doing it very successfully by trading 11 micros, scaling into that position and scaling out of positions. There's no reason to not just be like averaging in into micros for a full position of 10 and scaling out like that. Like you can still make really solid money. Once your execution gets better and you actually have a playbook, right? Like you can start to trade in minis itself. But like you guys are practicing, right? Like you don't have the greatest execution rate. And so relying on bottom ticking something and feeling comfortable with large drawdown from just like a point or two, right? It's gonna feel large at first. Um, like you need to practice, 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 and that'll allow you to stay comfortably in a position into a starter and average into it or average up on bounces, right? Like move your average up or while you are building your full position out. I think like the biggest reason why people blow up is because they try to do too much. They want to pass their eval in one day. They want all the profits in one day. Just like compounding is the way to do it. Giving yourself that wiggle room to have bad trades and still be okay. It's just so key. Later, Cass. Great day. Like think back to yesterday when I posted my last like 4 hours of trades. Like 90% of my trades were $200 on a single contract. Maybe two contracts, right? Where I'm scalping 200, 200. But like on yeah, on micros, that'd be like, $40 a trade. But like that adds up really, really quick. It does. I think like people need to they get a bit what's the word? They get a bit lost and lose meaning of what we're actually doing, which is clicking a button and making people's daily wage in a trade. Like $200 is nothing to scoff at. Some people are making that a day, and you can make that in a minute. So if you look for like $2,000, $1,000 a trade, $700 a trade, like you've kind of lost the plot for most people. And like I'm not saying that you can't do that, but like that shouldn't be your focus, you know? Like small compounding, building up your drawdown, making good trades in areas that you understand the rotation of. Those are the things that are going to keep you in the game. Important part. This is our retest of 308. A big area where we want to see if buy side's willing to defend. NQ still holding above our 20, which is a good sign. Want to see this 20 to 10 hold as supportive from the other side, right? Really want to see this 8 show interest on ES. I agree, Cass. Have a great weekend. Like I think maybe breaking down your goals into smaller goals for your eval could be really important for you. So say like you're trading 5 micros and your goal is to make $200 or $300 a day. Like that should be what your goal is on your eval account. Something like that. And like you can make that bigger, but like if you can hit your goal trading those, like you're going to over time hit your PT. It might not be in one day, but you should be able to do it in, 5 days, 7 days. And like that's it. Like the $200 a day, $300 a day should be manageable. And that should be you not having to trade the full session, right? That should be you rewarding yourself by leaving, taking your profits, and then kind of effing off. Getting in that habit of like treating it like a job. It's okay to not be in every rotation. Shit, until recently, I just traded 3 days a week. Back to our 308, 305 area, bottom. We're just seeing if these sellers are still viable or if buy side's now willing to hold us, right? NQ still balanced between our 1020 and our 38. Not a ton here as of yet. 4 minutes until the 15s. I think like one of the biggest things you learn from doing a journal for yourself of your trades, like tracking your trades, is just how unbelievably greedy we are as a people. And like how many like going back and reviewing your bad trades or the trades where you let it go back down to break even or like you were just completely emotionally trading after a bad trade or cutting too soon, something like that. Like being able to then see that in retrospect is super enlightening for you to then develop a plan of like how do I fix that. And if you're actually not doing that journaling and like pushing forward, for that growth, doing that step of actually analyzing your trades and analyzing your mistakes, it's going to take, I would say, probably like 3 times, maybe 4 times as long to actually get over that and develop a strategy because you're going to continue to make the same mistakes. And, sometimes you're going to get lucky and trades are going to work, sometimes they're not. But like not actually going back and looking at when you're being emotional and when you're, not taking profit or looking for too much or over leveraging from the start. Like those are the things that are screwing you over. Need to be able to analyze mistake, make something good out of it. You keep ignoring it and not going back and looking, right? Like, well, why do you expect something to change if you're unwilling to even do the bare minimum work, fix your mistakes? Let them be a lesson to learn and not just an emotional trigger later on, right? Like you're just going to develop PTSD from bad trades and make really bad, horrible emotional responses unless you handle it. Make it a lesson. Just journaling and sizing and read. What's up, Julian? Yeah, I mean, talking to yourself is fine. I mean, it's just part of it, man. I say it all the time, like the questions that I ask myself at any given point of like, where are we potentially going? Where where do we need to breach? Like, where's the buyer? Where's the seller? Who's in control? Right? Like, I have a full list of things that I ask myself over and over and over again. Because if you don't understand like what you're doing or why you're taking a trade or where we could potentially go, what's your risk, right? Like does it even make sense to take something here? Does this make sense in my model? No, then like why am I touching it? 305 here on ES, back to our 20s on NQ. We'd like to see buy side be able to bid here at our ETH high. If we failed to show an active bid in this area, then we're just going to be rotating right back down. Just a failure. No, nothing more. Need NQ, need RTY to carry us up. So really keeping an eye as NQ comes down is that is what was leading us. They both hit their resistance from the breakout. Back to open price. Yeah, maybe if you get back into value, you'd have to see like 800 to 94, 90. Like this is your big old pivot. If it breaks that, then you could see like that rotation lower, I think. I think right now you just watch to see if this 10 to 20 holds. If they fail here, then definitely rotate down. I don't know about open, maybe. It's a little too far ahead for me. What's up, Tatum? Back to our 308s from the hold to 305 and our 20s on NQ. Need to see a lift above these levels and the ability to build, or there's it's nothing. Random. Yeah, it's pretty gross. It's hard to make Bookmap look pretty. That is for sure. So I just want to point this out. What do we see on the 15-minute on NQ with our 80, 820, 810 area? Potential 3 bar? Yeah or no? It's just like the battle of our basing. This is our pivot. It's pretty clear this is our pivot. This blue box. We had a drop, base drop, and now we have the opposite. Or we're trying to recover the seller, make it supportive for that next leg up. It's a great area to take profits or move stops up if you are playing off the 810, 820 or the 305 on ES. Again, no change. Back up to our first PT. For ES, you want to see it over like 1250 for a move up. 1250 in bid would be ideal. Great job. Like, say you're trading micros there. Like, that's still a solid amount of points. Like 5.5, 6 points is still good money on ES, guys. Like it's and like with NQ, like, remember you can trade MNQ micros, and now you've just captured over 20 points. Like 20 points regardless is that's good money. Just playing rotations. That trade is just like working at McDonald's for a day. Like wait, what? Yeah, or Amazon. Shift your perspective. And this is just back up to the top of our 3 bar structure. We haven't even broken yet. Oh man, I'm so tired. I think they make a bit more money, folks. Especially with you there, you know? Yes. Yes, he is, Ty. Great guess. Great guess. I'm out 2 here on ES into our 12s. If we can make 12 supportive, we should be able to get like 2, 3 more points pretty easy. Amazon 200 with the AI confidence meter of 66.74%. Huge. Oh, GME is at our pivot here. Hmm. And we hold the 18 edge. Wait, this was a joke. Don't look at this diamond, please. But we are back to our basing off of the big pop. It's kind of where we want to see it holding. 100, you say? Why do I have one line? Chart. What is this? Did Braxton have an Amazon play? Is that why I have 190 on here? Levels. Ugh. Is there enough in this area to make me not want to look at this at all? Yes. What is this? I don't know if there's a ton here until we either come back down and do this to retest this low, previous day POC and value low, or recover our monthly value area low above or push up into this area here. This feels a little awkward where we're trading right now. Personally. But these are the areas where I would start to care. This isn't much of a chart, but it's something. Those are like the two areas where I think you get responses. Right now, it just feels a little trapped. All right, boys, do you see what we did from what we talked about this morning about the node at the 305, 308? We see how we hold the low, bid at the 8s, push up into our next resistance. Do we see how there's a auction above us here, like we talked about? So we need to be able to breach above this area and bid it if we want to see more. This makes for a great area to take a bit of profit off and look to see if we can get some continuation on a build of where our previous seller was. If we can, then we can look for the rotation between these two pivots. Do we have questions? Do we see what we're doing? We're trading in that upper range. We found acceptance on our mid. We're now here. We need to see this be able to build out for that push up into the high. Yes. Or no? We see the 3-bar playing out where we push through and come to our target at 70s like we talked about. This isn't crazy, I promise. An area of 10 points of risk to play up, understanding that we were looking for this higher target. Surely I was vocal enough for people to understand, right? Surely. All right, great. That's all I wanted to see. I have one left. Coffee hit at the wrong time. Unfortunate. If I don't drink coffee. Imagine missing the rotation. It's the only way. I actually haven't been taking any nicotine, maybe or caffeine. I need caffeine. I used to just take like a caffeine pill in the morning, and that was it. My vitamins. Can't be bothered. I haven't had any caffeine in like a couple months. Maybe that's my issue. I mean, there's actually been studies tied that nicotine does help with that. Like, actually. Do I do a full day with you guys, or do I let Mario chill? I'm so tired, man. Yeah, I mean, that move was good. Yeah, it's 77 here. That's actually really nice. I'd probably go to the pier or something. This Russell chart's a mess. I'm sorry about that. I've been avoiding. Um, really only a mess for this area. I think this cleans it up. Just this is our top pivot. This zone's a little much. There's just a lot going on. Mooning. Rory, bud, you gotta do some work, man.
So keeping an eye on the markets here, S&P 500 extending gains, so that's up 0.7% now, and Nasdaq up 1% as well, outperforming this morning.
I think this 23 is a great area to move stops up into. This is where our previous seller offer was. I personally think that we can probably come back up to this 31. Where this is our seller POC, right? This is the shift down that caused this basing. But 23 is a solid level to move profit, to move your stops up at least, because we understand that this is where our seller like really started trying with this leg down. This is just your reoffer point, right? We're coming into the top of this node. So like if we have a node, understand that you can split it in half basically and say that this is where your resistance is and then this is where your buyer is if you're looking at a node. So logically we look for the offer in the higher edge, right? The upper distribution of a node. So just being able to secure profit and understand that we might need to flag here for that last leg up makes the most sense to me. Expecting that offer to be present where they were previously, just something to do, secure gain. Understanding that we might need to develop out a bit. We'll see. We can see how sharp that edge is. Right, like I wouldn't be surprised if we needed to do something like this first. But I don't know. We're in a pretty strong trend. See if we can recover yesterday's value high here on NQ for that last leg up into 910. So 24. And builds here like this. That would be huge. And this is like over $800 a contract, and I didn't even get filled at 5, so I got filled at 7. And this is just one contract on ES. Like, well, okay, we just made someone's weekly wage. You know what I mean? Like, you don't need much to make money. Just like find an area that you want to transact in, understand the risk of it, have a very tight invalidation, play your rotations. And even with like 5 EBS, like this is still like, I don't know, $300. $100. Like, it's just choosing your trades, sizing correctly so that your winners like actually can shine and your losers aren't just drawing down your account to the point where like your winners don't mean a thing because you're still taking awful trades in between. Yeah, I think so, Julian. Feels bad. They shouldn't be the ones being punished because of how much prices have risen because of all of the technology companies moving there. Honestly, I don't even know if $20 an hour covers like what you need to live in California or New York. Like I don't even think like them moving their minimum wage up to this covers like cost of life. Like the cost of living is just so abnormally expensive that like normal people just can't do it. It makes no sense. Yeah, Ty, like that's 1,300 now 3,800. Like what? And it's crazy too, because like both sides, unless you're like on like one of like the hard extremes of the political spectrum, like I talked to a lot of people who are like pretty left leaning that are older. So like the generation above me or like two generations up, and like they don't understand how hard it is for like Gen Z. Like they don't get it. They have houses already, and they don't. They're like, no, you can just buy. Like, what do you mean? Like there's the markets are fine. Like they have no understanding of like what rent looks like and how much people make. They're all making they're in their like cozy boomer jobs making, over six figures, filling out Excel and answering emails with like no understanding of like what it looks like anymore at like the ground level. Like imagine trying to have like a bachelor in fine arts right now. uh, like imagine graduating this year with a degree in with like all the AI development, with all of the job losses in the game industry. Like you're just working at Amazon. There's zero chance you get a job in your like field. And then you have bills, like you have the same loans as if you were a doctor going for a bachelor of fine arts. Because they're all for profit private schools. Yeah, and they don't leave. Yeah, boomers don't leave their jobs. They stay in their cozy jobs and don't let the new generation come in. Very true. I don't know. It just blew my mind when I was talking to like some like really left leaning people that are older and they like don't even get it. Like my college was $60,000 a year that I went to for for an art degree. Imagine going there and getting a graphics design degree. And then thinking you have to then pay off your debt. Uh, I'm lucky that I got like scholarships, right? But like the average person did not. Like they went there because they couldn't choose what they wanted to do. And so they're going to be in debt for the next, 30 years. We just hit 1K contract from our 307 position. Big. And there it is. Right. Crazy. Could have been a VP at AstraZeneca, surely. We're into our next target here at NQ. This 1950 to 27, 28. Really important. Same thing for ES. We need to be able to get back over this 30 level. Don't think that there's a ton here until we can make our previous day value highs supportive. Okay? We need to show the willingness to break out of value, especially yesterday's, right? Or we are just rotating through value. We need to show expansion. What does expansion look like? Well, the ability to hold previous day's value high as supportive. Oops, did not mean to delete that. So if you have runners, right, you might want to be moving up your stops a bit more aggressively, understanding where we are. What did we just do, right? Well, we traded into our upper rotation.
7:25
right?
a.m. Eastern Time. We are expecting comments from ECB Centino, who speaks on a
This is
panel at
why
the Reykjavik Economic Conference.
I said what I said. Do we see? Do we see? That's your full node rotation. If we can build above like 32, really it's just like this 27 to 32 is where we want to see buy side be able to develop here. And then we can probably trade up into 38 for another leg if it's going to happen. But we need to be able to build above this POC and at the high end of this node. Or this is all there is. Same thing for NQ. Off of our 20s. Oops. Need to be able to build over this 9, 10, 25 area. And then we can look up. But this is where we saw that absorption yesterday. That move down. Oh yeah, we have Monday off. Crazy. What are you guys gonna do without listening to me all day on a Monday? Any plans? I'll watch one of the VODs. Huge. Yeah, I've just been letting Mario do his thing. I can't be bothered. Streaming every day. I'm so tired by the afternoon, man. Got stuff I gotta do. I need to catch up as well and see what he's been talking about so that I know what you guys are learning. At least a brief overview. You ask me questions about something that Mario talked about, and I'm like, I don't know. Wasn't there. Best thing I ever did was let Mario take over classes so I didn't have to do that as well. Nashville. You playing a show? They're all on the website, Kels. There's a whole section on the website, but there's also a tab in the Discord that breaks down all of the classes into individual
At
categories.
11:25 a.m. Eastern Time, we expect comments from ECB's Centino, who speaks at a panel at the Reykjavik Economic Conference.
Nice. I've never been in Nashville either. I don't think so, at least. Good food, music. Should be fun. That's all I know about Nashville. Hopefully you like spicy food. Is it sweet barbecue? I thought it was spicy. Well, spicy barbecue. Spice. Your choice. And I always hear like that Nashville hot phrase, you know. Blueberry barbecue. Oh, okay. You might be onto something there. Um, so just to give you an idea again, we're trying to develop another 3 bar. What it looks like. We've got to just wait for this to play out. We've got another 7 minutes on this candle and a huge mother bar to play off of. The idea here right now is, can we maintain a bid at this 902, 910 area on NQ, or do we need to pull back to this like 90-95? I wouldn't really want to see us lose the mid of this candle and our previous day POC, but if we can build at this like, yeah, like 902, 90, yeah, okay. Let me just mark it. Okay. Yeah, I mean, everything looks fine still. That's all I'm trying to say. As long as we're maintaining the bid, things look good. This is what I had on our chart. These levels have not changed, like on the footprint. as my 2 levels on footprint. We're here. Do you see where the previous POC is on that 15-minute candle on NQ? You see how we're maintaining that as supportive? And we have some deltas there as well to help us. And then we have an LVN of delta, and then we have another big push of delta on that candle. So it's like, those are the 2 areas where I'm going to be watching for price to interact. We want to see that yellow bar, right, at that like 900, 910 to hold as supportive. Or we expect a move back down to at least that like 90 to 86. So it's just about flagging here and being able to develop
expecting comments from ECB
in the next 5 minutes for this 15 to kind of hold as supportive and flag it out. I'm out of my position. I exited into 1K per contract. I already did mention that, mentioning it again. Just waiting for things to kind of consolidate here, understanding that this was our top of range on both ES and Q. If we can break the range and look for expansion, right, there will be more trades, but it does not make sense to not capitalize on our plan. For ES, you'd like to see 23s look good off this edge. You want to see dips being bought into that 23. We want to see that look over that 32 for continuation, 38. Again, this is just kind of resistance up here. Not a ton to really say. We probably move this top line up to the level that I'm actually speaking of. That might be helpful. And that was our POC shift, and then it became our value high from yesterday, right? So like, makes sense that we need to develop, and like we don't really see much more until we get the ability to flag here and then look for expansion on the hold of yesterday's value high. Thank you, sir, for doing that. One day Darian will do his job. Well, I'm not. All right. This is kind of our first real test coming into this this pivot on NQ here, this 905. See if buy side's willing to defend this, or if we need to look lower for that push down into this LVN. that we've kind of created. Bit curious here. At our 23 as well on EOS. Just looking for things to be able to hold these higher lows and not have to do the full rotation back to our pivot. That'd be nice. No trade yet, but this is where I start to look for bids. If bids don't step in here, sell side's going to get quite a bit more aggressive and push us down again to that like 85 to 93 area here on N2. That's where you'd want to see that bid really step in, because if we don't have control over that, then things look pretty rough into the next 15 minutes. We have 15 seconds until the new 15's open. Again, we're just looking to see if we can develop. Got this huge mother bar and like no structure, right? So we want to see buy side really show interest. We push down into this to create that 3-bar. Going to do it. Things get a bit rough if we lose the halfway back, then we could that. We really want to see it really kind of maintain here and lift us off of this push. That was terrifying. All my charts just like froze and then reset on Intraday. Wait, that just broke like all my footprint. What is this? Yeah. Things look good so far, holding where we need to. Okay, yeah, that fixed it. Thankfully, I saved all these as new templates. Specifically with like ES and NQ, all the settings. Should feel pretty comfortable playing off this 23, 3 points up. Looking for the ability to make a new high here, ideally. For NQ, not a ton to play off of. Right, we got our hold of our levels, but we need to see this node become supportive, and then we can look up. But there's clearly someone trying to sell into the area. Really just want to see the structure hold for the next like 15 minutes, this zone, and then we can get another 3-bar up. That's kind of going to be your break. How does it break wise? The first I've heard of that. What is this playlist that I'm listening to? It's so good. Oh, of course it's good. Jazz playlist. Banger. Seller really trying off of that 915. Just holding the POC from the previous candle. Still holding our inside bar, but they really are trying here pretty aggressively on tape for that look down. Just filled the LVN back down to our previous little buyer here at this, again, 93 to 85. These dips need to be bought like relatively quick. They're going to maintain. Yeah, that was a good bid. Need to see a push over 905s.
Venezuelan oil minister says Venezuela has 25 active drilling rigs and oil output is at 924,000 barrels per day in May.
Tempting again and see if they'll get trapped or not. Pushing back down to that 93 to like 86. This is just where we want to see any kind of dip to be immediately bought and then back up. Just holding previous day value, right? Failure to do that, then we will rotate through the range again. Nice, man. Killed 3 people yesterday. Nice. So far, bid still holding and maintaining that 93. I think that if we continue to see this offer try to hold 95s, that we have at least one more leg down into that 80 retest value. Bit dodgy here with the amount of sellers that are trying to load into this. This is just a previous buyer who pushed us up, but if sellers are able to aggressively push us below this 86, then we probably need to come down fully to our previous rotation. FYI, so really watching this edge and how we react. I want this buyer to be here at this 83 as he has pushed value high on retest. Same thing with the Russell. Need to see the dip kind of be bought here, or like they've topped.
And Venezuelan oil minister says
Or
Venezuela
no.
aims to reach 1.23 million barrels per day of oil output in December.
Oh. Definitely spam. Better surf. Have a great weekend. Testing our 93.95 offer from the hold of our 86 on MQ. Again, need to see that offer, the bid move up into that offer for any action. Yeah, I think like at 15 to 20 is incredibly. I feel like if this 15 to 20 bid doesn't hold, then you just go back down to like. That's 10 points if you're playing off of 86s on NQ. I think it's still a bit early. You need to get over that 905 for things to feel comfy. Right now, still just kind of just a little bit of a relief bounce at yesterday's value high. Understand that we've got that large seller above us on NQ. So 905 should be first target if off of that. 2. And again, we've got our path drawn, what we're looking. Next target, of course, this POC, always taking profit into that, understanding that this is our seller node above. I will then leave one runner, look for any sort of ability to push above, and then I'll look to potentially add again if you get up. But I will always sell into our seller reoffer. Just This is also your first target on ES. You need to get back above our weekly VWAP and our previous week POC. It's 24, 25. Not ton here until we see that be able to build. NQ is attempting to now step up with the bid at our 905s like we have pathed. But we are just contesting with the selling node above with our POC here at 910. So there's not a ton, right? Again, I'm mostly risked off. I have one contract left with my stop at 93s. I've taken full profit off of my contracts from lower. This either stops me out or we look for a new high. Just let this build. Selling still in control, lower highs. The two charts that I just posted, right, like those are our ranges on NQ, very clear. Again, with the 15-minute structure of where we held, right, like there's not a much, we need to always be taking profit into the top of our inside bar. We don't know what's going to happen until we can make that supportive above. So, like, this is just the range, right? Like, what are we doing right now? Well, we're maintaining the mid of our mother bar, right? So if you know anything about 3 bars or that kind of structure, if you've watched those lessons, like we just want to see buy side kind of maintain that halfway back. Failure to do so will result in a fill of this imbalance, most likely. Makes the price action way less like, yeah, I guess less likely is probably the word to continue. It'll be choppier. We have to deal with more offers, less excitement from buy side, less confidence. Just means that market isn't as bullish as more anymore. Russell's still weak. Going to be very hard until we see the
Japan's
Russell
top
actually
currency
care.
diplomat Candace told G7 that speculative and excessive FX moves are undesirable, so we need to keep monitoring.
If I had to guess for the Russell, is you're gonna have to come back down to this pivot here at 70.70 if this value high doesn't hold, and we look for a dip right into the Russell doesn't want to continue. We need to wait for that to find its pivot low. They probably stop me here, which is fine. Still in. Again, stops just at 93. But if the Russell can't find a bottom here and can't get back over our value high, it makes complete sense to come back down to our PVC. Roy, this is like actually the perfect time to start sweating on the server with the Monday off. Day off. We actually have some time. Kind of works out. Ooh, nice. I haven't killed her yet. I need your help killing the troll. What's his name? The snow guy. Frostjaw. Frostmaw. We need to kill him. The only one that we really need to kill, so that we can unlock that recipe for the bag and for leather, thick leather for the new armor. It refused to do that fight solo. You get frozen like one time, and there's someone there, and they just instantly. Market's in a bit of a disconnect here with the Russell coming back up to retest value high without having come down more. Just need to watch to see if the Russell can hold here above our 72.8, 73 area, right? Like this is the arc area of contention. Yes, still just maintaining our value high, no real change there. NQ is the thing that's the weakest right now. As soon as the Russell loses that momentum that we just gained, with NQ as weak as it is, right, that'll cause more downside. If the Russell's able to maintain value high and we're able to maintain this like 86 edge on NQ, then things should be fine, right? We're just rotating the node. I'm gonna go back to this chart here. Oh wait, that's no this. Where is it? We're just rotating this node here, and yeah, right? That. So we're just watching to see if we expect rotations here. But can we hold and move back up, right? Is this seller now offsides? And is this buyer willing to defend? That's kind of the question. We need everything working together. Just so you can see what that looks like, me getting stopped on the, like we still are able to take profit out. Doesn't matter. But it allowed me to potentially get more, right? Like that's what matters. So like when you actually look at what our trades looked like for the entire day, right? Like this, it's fine. We're gonna have small winners, we're gonna have small losses, we're gonna have break evens, but we are building. Building is what's important. Nice, good job. If you can start making thick leather, that'd be great. You need the oil. Need Mario to get on so I can leave. Time to play V Rising, man. You'll stream Destiny raids? Hell yeah. Is Planets the one that we did together? Did they like increase the difficulty or what for this event? Like your light level? Okay. Thanks. Have you tried hitting up my brother? I don't know if you're playing with randoms, but you might actually want to do it. Oh. No, he didn't. Ain't no way. So far, previous day value low, value high, holding on NQ. ES still just maintaining our weekly value low and our today's value high. Again, not a ton to talk about here. We know this is our top of range. So there's not too much to be expected here until we see the ability to build, right? All we've done is oscillate this node that we talked about. Need to get back over 23s for any more upside. I don't know if I'm taking another trade today. We'll see. I'm pretty content with what we've done today. Might need to wait for Mario to get on and have fresh eyes. Here, I'll post this chart for you guys as a reference so that we have it. And it's the same levels, it's the same everything, but you might want it. So far, it just looks kind of like expanding, flagging, trying to fix some of this poor structure at our highs. Everything looks okay. Just looks like indecision to me, which I want nothing to do with personally. Because instead of a 3-minute trade, it becomes a 30-minute trade for the same amount of points. Mm-hmm. Wait, Rory, you know the worst change that they did is that the Beatrice is just the old lady in normal. That brutal boss shift it's only for brutal. I was so disappointed. That's crazy that they did that. Like that's an insane different like the mechanics are I don't know why they did that. That fight was great. It just depends on what you want to do, right? Like the reason why normal makes sense is if you're on like 100 or like 200 pop server, because then it's PvP is the focus and the boss is secondary. But like if the server's dead, then like PvE is all you've got, and like it needs to be good and or like and challenging. I mean, ideally both, but like it would really suck if someone interrupted a fight on brutal. Like you're just dead. at least on normal, like it can be contested. Again, 23 first target here on ES. Need to see a lift above 23s for that move back up to our 27 to 32. You have new 15s opening in like a minute here. Trying to make 23s supportive. Muscle back up to our resistance. NQ still holding our 905 seller. Not really much to say. Ranges are maintaining, but just need to see 23s really kind of maintain as supportive. This LVN that we've created here off of the hold of our lower balance. We're watching this area here really for bids to be able to defend on the new 15 that opens in 20 seconds for a push back up to that 27. And for NQ, that like 12, 15 areas where your seller's like really positioned. 15s. Points if you're playing off the 23s. Need a nap, man. This chart ready for you guys for the afternoon. You should have enough. Good. You guys really starting to notice and be able to pick up the difference in speed and feel from the morning session into the afternoon? That becoming way more apparent? Yeah. One of those things where it's like you can kind of you'll start to feel when you should be trading and when things just like don't make sense to trade. Yeah. It's like what I was talking about earlier, where it's like there's no point. Like we can make the same amount of points in 3 minutes that it takes 30 minutes to an hour to make like midday. Like why? Why? What are we doing? We push into 27s. This year full reoffer here. This 27, 28 area. We just watched to see if the offer steps in. Same thing for NQ. Off of the hold of our previous day value high. Just back up to the top of our range. A good area to move your stops up. If you're especially if you're trading off of the 23, right? Because you're at a much higher level than the dip into our weekly value low that we had drawn. So if you are playing off of this, you want to move your stops to at least break even as we push up into the highs. What we do have going for us is the Russell is moving with NQ and ES, right? And we are looking above, back to our resistance here. So want to see a bit more, but uh, everything is actively still pushing up as of right now. Again, 27's definitely there. Off, remove stops up, secure gains. Until we figure out what we're going to do. Same with this 910, 915 area on you. New 15 minutes, 1 minute, 30 seconds. Tape speeding up a bit from sell side on the reoffer. Just back down to our 23s. Yes. Low and range bound.
Hello.
Yo.
I see we reverted to the mean.
Yeah.
Crazy.
All right. I am actually heading out. I've been done trading for a bit. I think
my friend.
most people had a pretty solid morning. Rotation was pretty clear. Seems like people capitalized. Uh, yeah, I don't know. Go play some V Rising.
There you go.
Big
Enjoy your Friday.
as well. Hopefully you don't get stuck up here.
Yeah, we might. We might.
Later, Adam. You as well. Playing off this, my last trade was off this 23. But there's like that little LVN that's there.
Yeah, I see that. Maybe we will just like build out up here.
Would be
I'm not on
nice.
the but
Would be nice.
all right, man.
Peace.
See ya.